by the right of the council, by the will of the force, welcome back into another episode of the Galaxy Famous. Brad, I have a question for you.
Did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
I never noticed that he said something like that.
Hi,
You ever hear the tragedy of that?
It's a little interesting. Hey, I am Atomica, and you are following us at Jedi Talk Podcast on Instagram, youtube.com/Jedi Talk, Facebook sometimes if we decide, but TikTok too, we're out there as well. Thank you for joining me. I am here on the High Council, and directly across from me on the regular council, he mistakenly got sent cartons upon cartons of peanuts for his birthday, but what he really wanted was penis. Brad Hughes. Brad, how the hell are you today?
It's a real subtle mistake, but it can really, really change your day. It's really upsetting.
It could.
Peanuts don't go in your ass.
No. Did you try anyway?
I mean, what am I going to do, not have a good birthday? You know what I mean?
This is true. I mean, have you run out? Your birthday's over there in February.
I get a year's supply. Every year on my birthday, a new supply gets delivered.
Oh, so good.
I'm just waiting for them to actually ship the thing I ordered, you know?
Yeah, I got you.
It doesn't happen every year.
I got you.
I think I need a spell check.
And third member on our council this evening, Evan T. Boucher. Evan, how the hell are you? Well said.
That's actually insightful. That's better than like your normal opinions.
It's one of the best things he said all day.
Yeah, I'm impressed with that take. That's a solid take.
How was your week?
Somebody took my juice money.
Jesus, tap dancing Christ. Well, do you?
Who took your who took your juice money? Was this
Aunt Tim?
That adds up.
That makes sense.
Tim's a cuck.
Well, we'll get more from Evan throughout the episode tonight. But happy Acalright finale.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I heard your intro song. Is that the guy that did the porno documentary?
Yeah. James Hetfield did narrate the porn documentary.
I thought that voice sounded familiar.
Yes.
In my favorite movie.
That's makes sense that you heard James Hetfield's voice for the first time on the porn documentary.
That's so funny. I didn't know that. Did you know that until no, I didn't.
I remember. Yeah, he's like this old Western lawman.
Is the documentary called
Yeah. Yeah, probably. Yeah. And of course, I was pegging Kyle.
You were pegging Kyle?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
we need that on a
Yeah.
drop.
No. Yeah. There's your drop. I was pegging Kyle. I was poking the bear over there with basically like, tell us about the documentary, Kyle, because he was very much an expert on that. So.
Yeah, he's the authority of porno documentaries, I guess.
He is.
I'm surprised you guys came back. I thought you would have wisened up and just let Fourth Mother Box go. Let it go into the wind where it belongs.
Let it go into the wind?
Let it go, just be done. Like dust in the wind.
Why? Because of Kyle?
Yeah. Yeah, of course. You know, no one listens to that show to listen to Kyle.
I suppose.
No one does. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
We have a secret Reddit.
A secret Reddit?
Yeah.
Don't listen to Kyle.
Don't
r/don't listen to Kyle.
You fucking told it right now. It's not secret anymore.
All right. Well, make it private, Reddit mods. Because we know they're listening. Because Reddit mods don't
69420. Make sure you get on that.
Yeah, and Turd Burglar 69420. There you go. How was your week, Ben? I mean, Evan told us about his week, but how was yours?
It's good. It's I've got an event I'm going to tonight after the podcast. I'm excited about it. It's a bourbon related thing, so it'll be fun. I also found out that a creator that I actually like her stuff, is a listener of this show. So hello. And I didn't know she lived here. So
there you go.
That's pretty cool.
Very cool. Listener of Jedi Talk for at least another week. We tend to lose and gain as we go along, but hey.
Yeah, we the right people stick around. This show's not for everybody.
No, and that's like a not all podcasts or not all entertainment's for everybody in general.
No, of course not. It's and if you try to do that, you're gonna make generic mediocre content.
This is true.
I mean, that's why I think
That's
a lot
not
of
bad.
the big like blockbuster movies do so well. It's because it's straight down the middle,
but yeah.
like a Transformers movie. It's just like
right,
mind-numbingly straight down the middle mediocrity.
Michael Bay farting explosions all over the place. Yeah,
and I think that's where most people, because like here's the thing: if you like action movies, you're gonna like it, and if you like, dumb, stupid movies, you're gonna like it. It checks off a box that everyone would enjoy.
This is true. Been to the parks lately?
No, it's too hot. We've just been doing Typhoon, like on the weekends. It's so relaxing.
It is hot. It's warm out there.
We're gonna hit the parks hard next week, though. We're gonna have the kids on different days than I usually have them.
Got it.
Because they're going out of town, so it's gonna be fun. We're gonna do a few things, and I think I want to try. So I don't. You'll I guess you'll experience this with when your daughter's older, but I have a thing where I do like I genuinely. I'm not cheap. Mm-hmm. I don't mind spending money on food and stuff. Mm-hmm. I cannot stand spending money on food that isn't eaten. And my kids, for the longest time, especially at Disney, you're paying like $40 a person in some cases, and they don't eat. So like we stopped taking them because like we'd get there, they'd be like, I'm hungry, and then they wouldn't eat anything, and we'd spend $80, and they've eaten 2 chicken nuggets between the two of them. On the way home, they want McDonald's. Yeah. So it's like we stopped taking them. But now my son's starting to like get to that teen. He's almost 13, so he's getting to that like eating age. And dude, he can fuck some food up now. Yeah. So I'm like, let's do it. Let's go to like Hoopty Doo. Like now that you're gonna eat and
there
enjoy
you
it.
Now you're gonna.
So we're gonna take him to a few cool spots.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Lots of exciting things coming up at the parks, I suppose. I don't know.
Are there?
Well, the Country Bear just opened it up.
Oh, did it finally
officially? Open? Yeah. I haven't seen it yet. I'm so indifferent about how I feel about that, but
I have. I'm not going to judge it until I see it because it could be done very well.
Sure.
I'm not Evan or Kyle. By the way, if I hear one more fucking time, well, IGN said, don't care. I don't care. And no one else does
Kyle is a twat waffle.
Agreed. Thank you, Evan.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold judgment, but I think this was a bad idea. I love the Country Bears.
Oh.
And I think this was a bad move. I mean, but the thing is that they've changed the Country Bears like throughout time. There's always like there's a Christmas version and a holiday version.
True.
So like I'm sure the music will be cool, but it's not necessary. Like it's in Frontierland. It's not like that's in Fantasyland or something where like it makes sense. You know what I mean?
But they're still keeping the country twang.
Yeah, but to me, it's not the fact that they're singing country music. It's like those songs. Like if you ever hear those songs out of context, it just puts you at Country Bears.
Has anyone ever? Have any like really shitty white people from the South protested this ever?
Oh, I'm sure. There's like a keep Country Bears, make Country Bears great again. Page.
No, not that. More of like they're making fun of us. Like close it down.
Oh, you mean like the opposite? No,
yes.
No. They wouldn't know they're being made fun of.
That's a good point. That's true.
Yeah, they wouldn't get it. They wouldn't.
Billy Jim Bojob Jim down there in.
Do you know the history of
Podunk, Alabama?
Yeah, that's my hometown, Podunk, Alabama.
I know.
Do you know like the history of the Country Bears? Like what it was actually like made for? It wasn't made for the parks. It was made for a ski lodge that Walt wanted to do.
Oh.
And it was like I think the last thing that he like approved and like Mark Davis worked on. I feel like I'm remembering that correctly. I could have my Disney history off a little bit, but I know for a fact it was for like Sequoia Lodge or whatever the fuck that place was called.
Sequoia Lodge is in Paris.
Sequoia National Park or wherever that is. He was going to do a ski resort.
Like a ski resort there?
Yeah,
oh,
and that was going to be like some of the entertainment there. And then it made its way. That fell apart when they kept the idea and like put it here in Disneyland.
Wow.
Disneyland had 2 stages.
Wow.
Which is where.
Oh yeah.
Where Winnie the Pooh was. Have you ever looked at the heads?
Yeah,
on
turn
the wall?
around and see them. Yeah, I have. Last time, or when we were there in April, we did that. Yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah,
it's cool that they're still there. And
it is fun.
Like, good little detail. I'm partial to it. Like I have like memories with Bentley, and he loved Country Bears, and like I'm sure he still will like it because he's still young. But it's just, it's just one of those things. That's like I feel like you could have done something else with that money. That you could have updated the animatronics. Like I think that would have been cool. But keeping the music was kind of
give us another scene, an updated scene in Carousel of Progress. That would have been fun. Just change the future a little bit.
That might be one of my D23 predictions.
Oh, we can do that next week.
We have to because I think D23 is like August 7th or something.
You know, obviously we're shooting the shit at the moment. It's what we hear doing Jedi Talk. We're a little bit of a different Star Wars podcast. We got a YouTube comment not terribly too long ago. Was like that somebody who just discovered us. They're like, oh wow, already with the F-bombs. I like this, and they're like what is it about Star Wars podcasts? They're always like sounds like they're just all goody two shoes or something like that.
I don't know. I feel like that's the same thing with Disney stuff too. It's like I think the thing is they are worried that people are going to listen to the show with their kids, but the YouTube and not YouTube, but like podcast platforms, you can when we upload, you can make it explicit.
I always say no.
Explicit.
Yeah, I always say it's not meant for children.
Yep,
always
not meant for kids, and then it's I don't know. I get that vibe too. Some of them like I part of it I think is that it's just like, and I mean this lovingly because I'm one of you. But I think part of it is just but people that do Star Wars podcasts are nerds, and it's like they don't want to offend anyone. They want to just keep.
But
we have a different background. Like I was a comedian, and I don't care. I'll make people upset. It's all good.
Yeah.
I don't do it intentionally, and it's always in jest. But if I make you upset telling you a joke, I don't know.
But it's also you try to separate yourself from the pack, right? If you're going to be the same Star Wars podcast,
Why would you do it?
like someone's going to say, like, if 3 Star Wars podcasts are called Star Wars Yes, Star Wars Yes 2, Star Wars Yes 3, like, they're just going to randomly pick, or they listen to one episode and they're like, oh, this is all the same thing. I might as well just stick with the one that makes me the most happy. It's something stupid. So
you know what I think?
we try to differentiate ourselves.
Yeah, for sure. And it's always something I've done. I tried doing it clean for a while just to see if it would like make a difference number wise, and it didn't. And I was like, all right, well then we'll go with it. Mm-hmm. And we'll just keep it going. We've had conversations, you and me, about like, should we do it? And then it's like, I'm not gonna. I don't. This is gonna sound super pretentious, and I don't mean for it to. I'm not gonna do a show that I wouldn't want to listen to, and I'm not gonna change how I do content to get on a media list. You know what I mean?
Correct. Yeah, we are
it's
never going to be on a Disney media list.
Tom, this is an art. This is an art form, and we are artists. We're artists.
I agree.
And I will never compromise for my art.
Never compromise. Evan, what do you think? You just continue doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Doing it. So we've got the Acolyte spoilers ahead.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and do a spoiler warning up front.
Yeah, spoiler warning. Obviously, well, if you're listening to this, obviously, we've titled the episode after, the season finale of the Acolyte here. So, it's crazy to me, and I was thinking about this earlier. As I just look in the comments, I've a lot of pages that we follow. Jedi Talk follows the Star Wars pages. Star Wars Newsnet's one of them. Just a Star Wars fan page. Just a lot of Star Wars Explained. People out there that know. Star Wars Explained. A lot of people are calling them out. I know there's more than one individual there, but they're calling them out for like being shills and being bought by Disney. And it might be true that he's bought because Star Wars comments on his shit now. Or their shit now, yeah.
Oh.
They're getting stuff sent by Hasbro. They got all the Acolyte figures sent to them.
See, that's what I'm not going to do. Yeah. I'm not going to have some milk. I'm not going to lie. And I worry about this all the time with bourbon reviews. Mm-hmm. I'm starting to get stuff where people send me things, starting to get more views than even than I was getting before. I had a video today that like got over 1,000 views in a day, which is crazy for me. I mean, there are some YouTubers that would kill themselves if that was the numbers they got.
Would kill themselves. They would literally kill themselves.
They would like. There are some crazy YouTubers out there that like it's all about the numbers and they don't care about anything else. But I'm not gonna like if a brand sends me a bottle to review, I'm not gonna go like, oh, this is great. You should spend money on this, even though I got it for free.
Yeah, the only thing is
I would never do that.
If you rip on it, they'll just never send you a bottle again. That's all. Rip on it, or just give your honest opinion.
Yeah, and I think I've already had that happen once.
What whiskey?
There's a few.
Come on, a few?
Yeah, well, there's one brand that used to send me a lot of stuff, and then I was like, it's fine, like it's good, but like it's not worth $90. And that's my opinion. It's not worth $90, and I know why it's $90. It's a finished whiskey. I'm talking about Old Elk. But Barrel used to send me stuff all the time. They were the first company to send me anything, and they've sent me a few bottles. And I give them good reviews, but I don't just like. I know there's some people out there that are just like, one of my all-time favorite bourbons is this one. It's like it's not. You're saying that because you want to stay in good favor. You know what I mean? Like I'm not going to do that. I would rather have people here who value and know that I am going to tell them the truth about what I like. Same thing with Star Wars.
That's right. And let's go into the Acolyte, because this has been the most divisive Star Wars show I think ever.
Yeah, because I think most people just are like, the other ones were fine, or like, or bad. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or like it was kind of unanimous. Like Book of Boba Fett sucked, except for the Mando stuff. Like it's been pretty. Even with me, I'm not a huge Andor fan, but everyone liked it.
For the most part, yeah.
For the most part. Yeah. So
Kyle's opinion doesn't matter.
Did you think it was Assolyte or was it Acalright?
It was Acalright.
Acalright, okay.
Acalright. Overall, I think it was Acalright. And this is my litmus test. Was I entertained from start to finish when I watched it? That's one of the things I factor. Yes, I was. And then
I didn't reach my phone on this episode.
You didn't, or
no,
did?
I didn't.
Okay, yeah. And then I'm talking about Acolyte overall right now, from like 1 to 8. Was I entertained? Yes. Was I bothered by a decent amount of things? I was, which kind of lined up in the finale, and we'll get to it in a second. Do I think the criticism that this gets is deserved? No. But
no, if
it's criticized the right way, not just they're woke this, woke that, get fucked and just watch it for what it is, or don't.
So, yeah. Or like you told Kyle in Fourth Mother Box, like don't watch season 2.
He will.
I know he
because
will.
because it's
That's
so
the problem.
funny, Brad. I've seen everybody say this, and you've been invested from the start. But all the people who have watched it have said, "Oh, there's potential for a season 2." So it's like, what is it? Did you like Acolyte, or did you not? And then you're gonna do the same fucking thing again when they give us a season 2, which
Yeah.
we should get.
I think with what the door they opened, they
Yes.
fucking better.
Yes.
Like if like honestly, if Disney came out and was like, "There's no season 2," they should go in and remove that scene from that fucking
A few scenes.
the major one, the Darth Plagueis
yeah,
thing. in
yeah,
the cave.
Darth
They
Plagueis-
should remove that
Plagueis.
because that could.
Have you ever
fuck-
heard?
Have you ever heard of Darth Plagueis?
You ever hear?
Have you ever heard?
I need to
of
cut.
Darth
Have you-
You ever hear?
Plagueis?
Brad and I literally
It makes me laugh so hard. It's
I
so
literally
stupid.
cut that. I cut that when Brad and I were like kind of doing like a pre. We really don't do a pre meeting, but we were getting ready, and both of
That's
us
a meeting,
laughed at
Jesus.
like the like I never noticed he said it so high pitched like that.
So funny.
So
Have you ever heard the tragedy?
man, there's a lot that went down in this episode. What did you what would you give it out of 10 to start, and then we could dive into some pretty cool details.
I'm not as hot on it as you are.
Well, hold
But
on.
I
I
think-
might not be as hot on it.
Okay.
Yeah, just like I said, I've got problems.
I thought it was a good episode. I think I'm going to steal your thunder here a little bit. I think the story was cool, but they really didn't tell it well. And I talked to my dad today about it, and he agreed. He was like, "Yeah, cool ideas, but just like what the fuck execution." I really hate that they're the same person. I fucking hate it so much.
Do you?
The whole thing has just been a goddamn mislead. And that's not good storytelling. You can't just be like, "Oh, just kidding. None of that was real."
Yeah.
That's lazy as fuck. It's dumb, and it's literally the plot of fucking the Darkwing episode where he turns into Positron and Negatron. It's literally that.
Well,
And then like
yeah.
it also doesn't make sense because if they're the same person and one's good, one's bad, why is this one bad now even though she was the good one?
No. I made that. Whoops. I made that call forever ago when I said, maybe not forever ago, but we were. It was not on air. It was on a chat. We were like, why is like OSHA all of a sudden just kind of, or like, why did she leave the Jedi Order if she's like the good one? I think was the question. And I said, I think she left because she was tempted and kept seeing the dark, which is what she literally told. Was it May? I think she told May that. Well, she's like, I couldn't get rid of the darkness. So I think, and Courtney called this out from the beginning. OSHA's the dark side of this, and May's the light one.
But
That's what I see.
Why? It doesn't
I don't know.
matter. Like they look the same. It's not that's not an inherently interesting story. How many times are we going to see the person fall to the opposite side? Like that's what they do with every fucking
Yeah.
show. Every single
Were they
movie
ever
or
really
show.
on a side to begin with? Because
She was fucking training with the Sith guy, yeah, for sure.
Sure,
And then she
yeah.
was training to be a Jedi. So like, it's just a big fuck you misdirect. I hated it so much. They're the same person. It's so fucking stupid.
I definitely was not as invested in the May OSHA storyline.
I hate
as
that.
the season
I do
went
not
along.
like that character. Not hate. I do not like that character.
Yeah, I wasn't. I was like, look, I am not a trained actor. I am not a trained director. I'm not a trained script writer or anything like that. I just give opinions that nobody asked for.
Yeah, that's
So-
what we do. We just critique.
Yeah,
Don't
and
make
we're critiquing, but it's like when I'm watching this, I couldn't, and especially during the last episode, I got cringed a couple of times, and I still don't know if I like that slow motion or not. And you guys should understand, I'm a Zack Snyder guy, so
What slow
I know
motion you
slow
talking-
motion.
What slow motion you talking about?
In the fight last night in the finale, a couple times they used slow motion. Soul and Kumir used
Oh my
it.
god, it looks so bad. The jumping down from
Yeah.
the thing. Oh my god, it looks so fucking stupid. It looked like they like composited like they were jumping and they like freeze frame and then like drugged them
It
across
was-
the screen. It looks so bad.
I know. I wasn't.
I blocked that out.
So, but in like when I watched it last night, or not last night, I watched it in the room because we had people over and they were still in the living room. So I watched it in here, and I just was like watching it. I'm like, oh my god, am I just spoiled because I've seen better?
You have a TV in here?
I do. Look behind you.
Oh yeah, duh.
Yeah, it's
I always face this way.
that's where my PS5 is too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm just like, am I spoiled because I'm a Snyder guy? And like Snyder does slow motion fucking awesome.
Yeah, he's the best at
yeah,
it, I think.
And but then I'm just like, no, that's just not
No, it's bad.
good. And like So it's like that, and then the acting from is it Amanda?
I do not know her name.
I don't want to mess it up. I want to give respect. The acting seemed, and I don't know if it was direction, but it just seemed like they were acting. I didn't believe their characters. I didn't believe their, their that they believed that they were she was May and Osha.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, the whole thing is
May
just,
and Asaya.
I just May and Asaya. I don't know, man. This show had such good potential. It's like they had a good concept with this whole thing, and I think the overarching story of showing that the Jedi are corrupt, which we fucking called that from episode 1.
Oh, sure.
We called it. I saw the writing on the wall early on. This is what this was going to be, and that was done very well with her like apologizing to Master Soul and then just fucking shitting on him.
Yeah, Ooh,
that was wild. That stuff I fucking love because that's what I want. That's what I want from the show. I want to see the cracks in the foundation. That's what the show should have been. Again, they always do this shit. They have the bones of a good story, and then they just go off the fucking deep end with something that no one asked for, no one cares about. We don't care.
But this was the thing that cracked the cement for the Jedi was the Brendok.
You could have told the same story without the space witches, and had that be such a major plot point, and still have Master Soul be a corrupt piece of shit.
Sure, yeah, they could use the Nile or something, but
they could have you could have told the exact same story the same exact way. Just take the witches out.
So you just didn't enjoy the Brendok witch.
I don't mind
storyline.
It's just like, well, no, I take it back. I do mind it. I don't like it at all. I think it's just unnecessary. Like it doesn't drive the story in a particularly interesting way. It doesn't do it didn't even when they didn't even make sense. Like the mom's like, oh, I was actually gonna you actually could have taken them, but I still wanted to fight you. Like just shit like that.
Yeah, like
it just doesn't make any sense to have been done the way it was done. It just doesn't make any sense.
Well, I tried to rationalize it. So Amanda Stenberg is her name, right? Yeah, that's her. Okay, so she plays May and Osha. The acting was weird to me. It was just weird to me, and then some of the shots, the way they cut it. Like I felt like they cut to a shot and then Soul was still standing there and then he started running instead of the shot starting with him running. Does that make sense?
It was terrible.
I was just like, what is up with that?
I noticed that too. I'm like, why is it?
It just seemed weird.
It's like they didn't have the proper shots, and so they had to like go back and like fix it, but they made it worse. It didn't flow.
So it's like ultimately, just like what you said, my thoughts on this were like the story, all season. The story, there's some great stuff there, and I was into the story as a whole. I was less into the Mayosha thing, more into the Jedi cracking and hell, we got the payoff of Palpatine's master.
Yep,
he showed up. It's official. He's officially live action canon.
Yep, he's here.
Let's go.
They haven't said it's him, but if they take this away from me,
Leslie Headland did. And that,
that's
that
right.
That's
That's right. Well, in the show, they didn't officially go. Have you ever hear?
Yeah, I got it. Here we go.
You ever hear?
You ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
So we great things in the show though, but like I just feel like the execution could have been better. Like I think if you look at it from a whole, they started real strong.
They started a fucking. I was so in. I was like, this is some of the best stuff we've seen in Star Wars.
Episode 5 was insane with my favorite Jackie. Getting boom, 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 and then Yord, crack.
They killed off every interesting character to me. Like I don't know if I'd want a season 2 unless. Here's what they should do with season 2. They should completely just have the Jedi Council be the B plot, and have them finding out, oh shit, that thing we thought we handled, we didn't fucking handle. This is getting worse than we had initially thought, and that's the B plot of them panicking what they're going to do. Mm-hmm. The main focus should be Plagueis and whoever the fuck he picks, and have the other person kill him, or if what's the guy's name, the Kylo Ren guy,
Qumir.
I can't.
Qumir. I know. I don't know why I can never say
names.
His name. Qumir.
Let's just call him Qumir.
Well, let's talk about Darth Plagueis right here.
It should be the three of them.
Yes.
Doing shit, training in the dark. Let's see what training in the dark side looks like in live action. We've never really seen it.
This is true.
We've never really seen it. So what is somebody who's powerful in the dark side? How do they teach their pupils? We've seen little shit here and there. And then, hey, and midway season, rule 2, okay? Who's going to have to kill who at the end of this?
Well, let's we'll segue into my
Because we know Plagueis is alive.
yes, and I think he's stalking Cumir because he was Cumir or the Stranger. We can just call him the Stranger. I feel like I'm butchering his name. The Stranger, I believe, was Darth Plagueis' Padawan or pupil, disciple, whatever they're calling that. And I think he tried to kill Darth Plagueis, but he survived, and the Stranger doesn't know this. And I think
Interesting take.
Plagueis was looking in the cave like, oh, you got a second one. All right, I got you, bitch. You know, he's
Yeah.
kind of like waiting, and then Plagueis is probably going to kill one of them.
Yeah.
And then I would love if season 2 or even if they push it to a season 3 ends with a little, like, how did Palps hook up with him? How did he find Palpatine? You know?
Yeah.
Maybe
I'm here for it.
That should be how the series should end, like how he finds Palpatine. But
Yes.
what do you think Plagueis is doing there?
I think you're dead on. I think it's something to the it's that or like the dark side has drawn them together. And then this is kind of where I think our opinions of it differ a little bit. I think he should go, there can only be 2 of us. Who's the stronger one? Let's do some tests. Let's see who's actually stronger in the Force. And then you're my disciple.
Oh, yeah. Just like Osha, just fuck the way she fucks Soul up.
Yeah.
Like, boom.
That was nuts.
And then bleeding that kyber crystal. That was
one of the fucking coolest things I've ever seen
Yeah.
in Star Wars.
Way to
That was
go,
fucking awesome. Whoever
Leslie
thought of that,
Headland, Acalright
seeing the
team.
blade change, that I'm getting chills thinking about it. That was fucking awesome, dude. That was the shit.
Yeah, props
That's
to-
the best part of the show to me.
props to everybody on the Acalright who made that happen. That was so cool.
That was amazing.
The way they teased it and then watched it crack, and when she grabbed it, like her hate was turning. God, that was
So
so
cool.
good. That was so good.
I love that.
That was good.
amazing.
And then the first time we ever saw the blade change like that,
That was so cool.
just like leading, like the blue just leaving her. That was symbolism. The light was leaving May or
Yep.
Osha. Yeah. Oh, so cool.
Yeah, I really thought that was amazing.
I thought for a hot minute, who was hugging at the end?
Unfortunately, this is no longer available. Fuck you,
Oh.
Russells, you fucking cunts. How do you fuck this up never mind. Getting mad about a bottle of whiskey is not going to fucking do anybody any good. Just going to make me live shorter.
This is true.
That's how I deal with my anger
Yep.
now. I just realize that it's dumb and I put the phone down.
There you go. You should. It's dumb and put the phone down. Social media. It's dumb. Put the phone down. I highly advise you stay off of social media the past week and the coming weeks. Why don't you stay off it until like December? Everybody. I'm talking about everybody. I wouldn't do it.
It's going to get wild out there.
Yes.
Yeah. So when you guys recorded that episode,
Mhm.
was it like just when it
It just happened. Yeah. Yeah. So and anyway, so yeah, the whole Plagueis thing. There's a lot that can go on. This series as a whole. It was like high highs, low lows. It's not the most perfect thing in the world, but I did enjoy it. It's just the execution just felt off in a lot of places.
Yeah.
But the story as a whole, like, I'm invested in
It's like the prequels.
what's next.
It's like
Yes,
the prequels. It's like prequels. It's a cool idea, good stories, and then they just didn't do it right.
It's the most Star Wars show ever. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I think it is.
What you think?
I see. I tend to lead a little more harsh than you do. I think it was medium highs and then fall flat on your face lows. Like there was some shit in there that was just so bad. There's just stuff that they like doesn't make sense, and it's just like, how do you let this writing through? I'm trying to think of things. I had an example and I forgot to like write it down. But there was something in the. I think we talked
Basil
about
when he like cut the wires for no reason in Soul's ship and he crashed into the asteroids. And like they really never kind of called back to that because like
Yeah.
Basil ran and like pulled the cords out because I think he was worried that Soul was going to hurt. He was chasing May, right? He was going
Yeah.
to hurt May.
There was something I had that was super specific, and I was like, this really annoyed me because they just brought it up and didn't. Oh, I'm thinking of something else. Never mind. I'm thinking of the movie Long Legs.
Oh yeah, yeah, you saw that. I'm finally actually going to see a movie. Courtney and I scheduled
sweet.
Deadpool and Wolverine on that
Nice.
Sunday. It comes out.
Hell yeah.
We've got her nanny watching.
Nice, very cool.
Yeah, it's kind of
excited
only seen.
for that.
This will be the second movie I've seen since Lily was born, and the first one was Aquaman 2, and that
Oh, you
was
poor bastard.
awful. I know. I was committed. It was the last DCEU movie that was coming out, so I'm like, all right. The first one made $1 billion and it was fine, but the sequel just. Ugh.
I tried to watch Aquaman on a plane and I couldn't get through it.
No,
but
really?
it's not the movie's fault. I don't do well on flights, and so like unless I like to watch things I've seen before on flights because I know like
That helps
It's
anxiety
just
because
solves-
you know what's coming.
It just solves. It just calms me down
Yep.
because I hate it so much. And so I never really watch new shit on a flight. I'll listen to new podcasts or something, but I won't watch a movie.
It makes sense why you're watching that porn documentary on both flights.
I gotta keep. Yep, just gotta keep it going.
You know what's coming next.
Yeah, I know what's coming next. And guess what? Me.
So
Can I use your bathroom? No.
no, just go in the corner like everybody else. There's a picture of over there.
Have you ever had the tragedy of doubling is the why?
You ever hear
I'd have. Helps.
It's so fucking hard, dude. It's so stupid.
So let's Brad and I could talk forever. I think, there's so and I really want to watch Acalright again from start to finish, right?
I have a
And these-
question for you.
Yes.
Are you invested enough to see this show have a second season?
Yeah,
I
I
assume
am.
you are? Okay.
Yeah, because
I
just
think
like
the second season, if they do it right, could be way better.
Sure, the second. Yes. And I guess I have a question before we get into kind of seeing what people commented on our post on Wednesday, yesterday. So remember The Mandalorian, right?
Mm-hmm.
I loved it
Fondly.
fondly. The first season.
Third season was kind of whack.
What did you think about the first season when it came out of The Mandalorian?
I was really impressed with it because I had no expectations for it.
Okay.
I'm having a stroke. Sorry. I have a tendency to go contrarian.
Mm-hmm.
And so when people are getting really hyped about something, I go like, nah,
Yeah, sure.
fuck you. It's not that good. You know what I mean? I really have to
Yep.
fight that about. It's one thing I don't like about myself is that I have to. I tend to lean contrarian. But I'll tell you what I feel truly when it happens. But like I tend to just be like I have heard. I'm not getting political here, but I have heard like in restaurants. We had this happen the other day. We went to go get sushi, and there was a couple talking about the shooting as conspiracy talk. And I had just talked about
Were they wearing the cause patch?
I had just talked about the conspiracy side of it to Holly.
Oh,
As
shit.
they were sitting down, and then when they started talking about it, I was like, "Well, you fucking stupid." Like I literally am like that, and I hate that about myself. But I was like, "At least what the fuck you're talking about? It's not a conspiracy." And then I just laid out how it could be 10 minutes before they said,
Sure. Yeah, you're like, it could. And then you hear, like, fuck you.
You fucking idiot. Like, what do you know? You don't even know what you're fucking talking about.
That's true.
I don't either.
I get that. Yeah, I don't either. Yeah.
So like I have to really fight that. But I was a little contrarian before it came out, and I was like, I don't think it was good. But I really liked it. But I think season 2 was where I really fell in love with it.
Evan, you've been very quiet. What are your thoughts?
I know sex exists. I've just never experienced it.
Oh, okay.
Huh?
That's a one way to put it.
Yeah, I mean,
This salty discharge.
Oh, I think you just experienced it.
it's that documentary coming back.
What's this salty discharge?
What is that? Is that Seinfeld?
Yes. Well, look at that. He just bellowed out the Indiana Jones theme.
That was impressive.
That was pretty impressive. I think he likes Indiana. I think he listens.
ever hear
I think he likes Indiana Jones 5 now. I was trying to finish that
Does he?
goddamn joke. Yeah.
Oh.
Didn't you just hear him do dun, 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 dun,
Oh yeah,
dun, dun, dun?
yeah. That was a good impression. That might be the best impression we've ever had on the show.
I think so.
It's pretty good.
Hey, do your Tazon Day, Evan.
Chocolate rain.
Well, it was all right.
It's okay.
It was okay. I could do better, but we're talking about. Have you ever heard?
you ever hear
Have you ever? Yeah.
You ever had the tragedy of Darth Plagueis?
So the reason I asked about Mandalorian was like I was trying to remember what the general reception was because I've seen some people say
At the time, it was really
Yeah.
positive.
That's what I
Especially when
thought.
Grogu.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I never saw anybody say they didn't like it.
right.
There were people who didn't like Star Wars that liked The Mandalorian.
That's true. It pulled in quite a bit of people, and it season 2 dropped at a good time too because that was COVID era.
It was during COVID.
Yeah, it was. But Disney World had opened back up because I remember watching the trailer in queue the first time I rode Rise of the Resistance. I watched Mandalorian season 2 trailer, and but anyway, because it's like you think about where Star Wars TV started and where it's at now, right? Star Wars TV. The live action stuff, Mandalorian, right? Come out like wow, like this is awesome. And then around the same time, Marvel was starting to just dip a bit, but they had some mid shows. Falcon and Winter Soldier, I liked.
That's still my favorite show.
Loki
but I don't remember shit about it.
Loki season 1, I remember liking and being invested in.
I like
God,
Loki season 2 as well. I like Loki. I think it's a fun
I need
show.
to finish Loki season 2.
You didn't finish it?
No.
Oh, it got good.
Did it?
Yeah, it got good. I like that. That one's that one's probably my favorite over Winter Soldier because there's more to it.
WandaVision was excellent. Like the
WandaVision was
middle of the second half was really cool. I really enjoyed it. And then things just kind of went weird after that.
And also it gives us that Agatha, whatever the fuck.
Agatha
show.
all along. Yeah.
Who cares? What the fuck?
I'm
are
not
they
invested
doing?
in that character. It just seems
They
like
did it for the memes. It's like they literally just pay attention to like what people create online. And
Oh.
people like us, so let's just make a show of it. It's like
Yeah.
no. I'm sure there's a cool story there, but like Marvel doesn't need to do, which is ironic because it's like what the foundation of comic books. But the Marvel Cinematic Universe doesn't need to make a fucking show out of every character. Some people can just be side characters. That's
I know.
fine.
Giancarlo Esposito said he's apparently getting a show based his character from Brave New World.
Well, if that warrants it, like it's fine. But like Agatha doesn't need a fucking show.
Mm-hmm.
She's a B villain in a fucking. She's a C villain in a fucking show. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, so like it's been such a I think people are so badly wanting like that Mandalorian feel again, and I think it's contributing a bit to how people like after they consume it, it's like how they feel. That's why there's a bit of an argument for oversaturation there. It's like we just went through shit with hearing people hate the Acalright, and at the end of the day, who gives a shit about what you like or don't like? You just don't take everybody else down with you, because before episodes of The Acalright were even posted, there were audience reviews on IMDb already and Rotten Tomatoes of like the scores being in the 7%. You didn't fucking see it yet, okay? It's just review bombing, and it's been proven before that people have been paid to do it. Both ways, good and bad. These large companies, it's been proven. Just stop reading into everything you see, Kyle. Just because IGN told you not to like it, or because there wasn't water in it, they didn't like it. It doesn't mean that you have to follow the narrative. Just from
I'm
the
curious.
jump.
I always like to know what IGN says. That's how I base my opinions. How else would I base opinions if I didn't know what IGN said?
That's right. That's right. Who's
going
to do the thinking for you if not for IGN?
Not for IGN. I mean, that's what they do, right? Like they tell you how to feel about things, and you can parrot it as your own opinion, right? Like that's the point of that website, isn't it?
Yep. Damn it! Thank you, Evan. You all right over there? He fell off the chair. Oh, Evan. Oh, he's crying. It's
okay,
cry.
you pussy.
Jesus.
Man up.
It's such an ugly cry.
Is that black
Is he
guy
done
crying?
yet? Is he done? No, it's Evan crying.
Yeah, it's
All
Evan.
right.
Sorry.
Even at piano, playing behind him.
He's good, man.
Yeah.
He's talented today.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
He's good.
Let's hear what people had to say about it. So
Is that a Jewel shirt?
No, this is my Hart and Huntington shirt.
Oh,
Tattoo shop.
here it looks like it says JUL.
What the fuck are you trying to see?
The bottom part of it was rolled up, and so that looked like a J, and then it looked like a U, and then an L.
Oh, all right. I guess, but clearly 2 H's with barbed wire. Go to Hart and Huntington Tattoos if you want to get a good tattoo when you're out here in Orlando.
Oh,
on
that's
City
the
Walk.
one here. Oh, the City Walk.
Yeah, that's where I got my tattoos here.
You had a Jewel shirt.
Are you okay? Last week it was the Goo Goo Dolls, and then now
I
you're
do
thinking
like the
Jewel.
Goo Goo Dolls, man.
You got
I
something
will
to tell us
not
about
listen to
Jewel?
slander. No, that's like the little smoky things, right? Isn't that what jewels are? The
Oh,
little,
I thought you were talking
cartridges?
about the singer Jewel.
No, Jewel, like the
JUUL or something.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
2
yeah.
U's.
I thought it was 2 U's.
I don't
Yeah,
know. That's how little I know. I thought that your shirt was a Jewel shirt.
I got you.
Made me
Thank you.
laugh.
And congratulations.
Doctor.
Doctor?
Oh,
Doctor?
we called the Yoda thing.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about Yoda real quick at the end.
He looked great, practical.
Yeah, it's just real quick. The pointy ears and the green pointy ears with his gray hair.
Talk.
I know, but
What seems to be troubling you?
I was very happy with the cameos that they decided to use. It was just short and to the point. Like they didn't like overdo it.
Yep.
Like sometimes you can.
Like sometimes the character just hijacked the show, and then you get 2 episodes of The Mandalorian in the middle of Boba Fett.
I did. Yeah. That series needed it. So
Do you think Yoda, when she went to Yoda and he finally talks, he's going to go, "You ever hear the tragedy?"
You ever hear?
do you? What do you think Vernesta's telling him? Do you think
hey,
she's
we
gonna?
fucked up?
But do you think so? Like, there's complications here. If Vernester tells Yoda the absolute God truth of everything that she's
will.
what soul actually, well then is he? Then he's
complicit
too.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's gonna piss some people off.
He was complicit in everything. I mean, he's the head of the council. Why would that? I don't understand why that would make people upset. It's already happened in the prequels. So they're just telling you how it happened.
Sure.
You know, I see what you're saying because there's OT trilogy people,
right? Like Yoda, they think he's
second coming of Christ.
Another thing I want to say about that is like, look, Olympus is gonna fall, and it's fallen. Like the Jedi fell. They fell to the dark side. They, Agenda 66, Order 66. Because I'm thinking about the propaganda piece of that. But like they fell, it was an inside job. They weren't paying attention. Like that happens. Have you rode Spaceship Earth recently? Rome burned. It's like things like that. And like people saying like they're good. They can't crack. Have you not? Do you not understand life?
They're not paying attention.
Hills, valleys. Yeah.
Not even that. They're just not paying attention to the show, like to the franchise. They've done this forever. Like
I know. The Jedi don't have a right to do that.
That's the point of the prequel. That's the whole point of the thing is like the hubris of the Jedi destroyed it, and their lack of faith in Anakin pushed them to the dark side, even though they were right.
That's right. So we asked what people thought on Instagram. We've got a couple of comments. We'll read them here. First was from Michael0324. What's up, Mike? I liked it. Left open for future stories, but overall, the way the story was presented, it felt uneven. So very, very similar to what we felt. Mm-hmm. Anthony808 said, agreed. I'm excited about the potential for more stories in this era for sure. So many openings here. And he actually made a good point. He said, I'm sure somebody will create a fan edit to recut the whole thing.
That's what I said. Do that.
Yeah, that'd be
they
fun.
should. I like those. That idea is cool.
Yeah.
I think people should absolutely do that. Maybe I'll do it. Give me the raw footage.
There you go.
Edit it down.
Raw footage. Shenanigans at Disney says, no spoilers. I liked some parts and liked others less. Some characters who I thought should be likable were incredibly unlikable.
Vernester Rowe.
Vernester Rowe, definitely.
That's shocking to me a little bit.
That
how she's willing just to play ball.
Well, she seems jaded. She seems tattered. Like, obviously, I mean, it was confirmed that the stranger, Kumir, was her pupil, her Padawan. So how did she lose him? And he has a clear whip mark on his back from her lightsaber whip. It's
I didn't even notice
clear
that.
as hell. Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, I think that's why they did the topless, like his shirtless, like poses. Just
I thought it was just to get Evan excited.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
Put a tick in it. Make her gay.
they did, Evan. Jeez.
You ever
hear?
So there was. Yeah, it was like the shot. I remember when they turned around and like you could see it. I'm like, oh, that looks like a whip mark. And I'm like, oh, it's Venestra. Like, holy crap!
Interesting. I didn't even notice it or pay attention to it. That's interesting.
So there's something there, and so we're with you on that comment. And then here we go. Austin _ Boucher 13. Let's see what this idiot says. Like it's so hard to not I sit across here and stand on ceremony with Evan here, but this is the less than of the Bouchers. I don't know. Austin over here. The cameos,
they're all pretty bad.
The cameos were perfect. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I like the fight scene. The slow-mo was a little weird, but not enough for me to dislike it. This does a great job showing how bad the Jedi were from longer than the Skywalker saga. Only thing that I think would have been cool was if Palps was in the mask. But I love the character that they made instead. Yeah, I'm happy that this was somebody new.
A young Palpatine would be kind of cool though, because then it would show that he's been around for a lot longer, pulling strings a lot longer than people realized. I think that would have been cool. I think people would have had issues with it, but I think it would have been cool.
I'm not denying it cool, but I'm just glad the route that they took.
It also would have made total sense for Plagueis to fucking meet up with them.
But we're not like if we're assuming that Palpatine's human, he's definitely just a tickle in his daddy's sack at the moment.
He's come back.
I know.
I don't think he's human.
But
or if he is human, he was born a lot longer, and like through Sith magic and whatever the fuck, however he returned, same magic. He's like, what you don't know about me is one day I'll die and come back in a movie with no.
You know what's funny? It's
explanation.
Like the people out there who ask for the people who out there who want Palpatine in this, but he's clearly not born yet. At least that's the way I'm seeing it. And it's like all of a sudden, like the suspension of disbelief works for you here, but like when somehow Palpatine returns,
What's
you're
the
like
problem?
throw a fucking fit.
Yeah.
It's like make up your
Well, see,
goddamn mind.
to me, that's just bad writing. So how do you
Sure.
return? Well, we don't know.
Sure. Well, then again, I commend Leslie Headland and all the writers and the people on Acalright not to give in and put Palpatine in there and make some shit up. But like he used Sith magic to be older.
I honestly, I would rather that.
Nah.
I think I'd rather that. I would rather it. Don't you think it'd be really cool if that was him and he'd been around for a lot longer than we thought?
Sure. I'm not denying it, but then it would just be like, oh, it's Palpatine again.
So it's
when,
the Palpalite.
Yeah, it's the Palpalite. When it like, I would prefer it to be, something else. Something else. The galaxy's big enough. Palpatine,
Yeah, that's true.
didn't always have his fist on it.
Yeah, that's interesting. But I think it would be really cool to see him. They could do this in it. They could do it. Like, see, why are we getting Acalright when we could have gotten a Palpatine show? Why are we getting a fucking Agatha show when we could have a Palpalite show?
I think part of it is just like squashing the Skywalker saga. It's like, or not squashing it, but just like it's done.
We gotta move on.
Yeah, it's done.
I think that I've been saying forever they need to move on. They need to move
I agree.
on. They quit tying shit in.
1,000% agree.
And then they didn't do it themselves, even though it was one of the greatest moments in all of Star Wars. But bringing Luke back for the Mandalorian, and plus that also put impossible pressure on that show. It was a great moment, and it paid off in that moment. But like I'm guilty of even being like, we keep waiting for the Luke moment.
Mm-hmm.
Not every show.
We got a little bit of it in the Acolyte.
Yeah, not anything close to that though. Not anything close to Luke coming down the hallway and fucking up all those robots, giving everybody what they wanted from Luke.
Did you ever hear?
But Darth, that little cameo, it's up there. It's up there. I think it's really cool because
the implications of this are really fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool, and it's such a cool character to bring in, and it's such a cool like finally let's fuck now. See, now I'm like, let's fucking go with season 2.
So
it got me so, but I'm tired of this. As happy as I am with it, they always fucking do this. They do this with every single show. There's always some little cameo, or they dangle a carrot for you, like, not now, but later. And it's like, fuck you, give me the fucking thing now.
I know they want you to stay invested. Though,
I get it,
and
but like
sometimes shows need to find footing. I don't know.
But you can be invested. You can be invested through good writing and good storytelling.
Yeah, it's Andor, but I know a lot of people, or you and Evan didn't think so.
I need to go back and rewatch it. That's another one where I kept going like, is Han going to show up? You know what I mean? Like, and it's just like not that show. That's not what the show's about.
Harpus Betsy said, "I'm not sure how I feel about the episode overall. I want to watch it again before I pass judgment.
Fair.
I was vaguely disappointed, but I'm not sure what I expected. I will say that I think the fight choreography in this series is some of the best in Star Wars.
Could not agree more.
The lightsaber fighting was on point. It was excellent.
It's exactly what it should be. They're all trained.
Yes, exactly. It's the High Republic. They are perfectly trained, almost like they should be the best swordsmen, saber wielders around. So I looked elsewhere. I'm seeing comments of just like extremes of the line of people are saying, loved it, love Acolyte, best show, and then people are like, burn it to the ground, Kathleen Kennedy's the worst.
I saw a guy say positive things about it, and somebody in the comments go, yeah, you look like their target demographic for this show.
Oh my God.
So fucking, I was like, this poor guy, dude.
I know, this poor guy.
He just said he liked the show and he got shit on so hard. It made me, dude, I was laughing so fucking hard when I read that. I was like, oh my God, you're so fucking mean, dude.
I know. It's just, it's crazy to me. Like, I want them to make a season 2 because these goddamn mouth-breathing fuckers who think they know what Star Wars is, or Star Wars has to be what they want it to be unless it threatens their fragile sense of self. So, like, they have to tear other people down who like it because they don't want it to be seen again. But fuck you. Bring on more Acolyte if it's just going to piss these fuckers off.
It's funny to me.
Yeah.
I wonder how that happens. How does a show that, as far as I can tell, outside of the coven being all women, which is that's not the first time that's been shown in media.
They're witches.
Like, they're witches. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the first time that's not a unique thing in
Night
Star
Sisters
Wars.
existed, like, for fuck's sake.
In other forms of media, there's like vampire covens that are women. You know what I mean? Like, it's not an uncommon thing. So like, outside of that, I still have yet to see one person say what's woke about this fucking show. Have you seen anything? I know we said at one point we're going to look into it. Like, have you seen
you mean like
anything?
what exactly?
Yeah, what exactly is woke? Is it just because there's black people in it?
Probably.
That's
there
so
are
retarded.
some closed-minded people who think lead people have to be a certain thing. It's and I don't maybe necessarily think it's that. If I had to take a guess, and I really don't give a fuck, but it's like it's just because obviously the women were lesbians, and they don't want their kids watching it. It's because they made life. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think like that. So I don't fucking know.
Here's the thing: for them to make life, they have to have the natural quote unquote natural way,
Right.
not be an option.
Right. I know. And those were two females, right? And,
And so it has to be that way.
then
Otherwise, they
Mother
could just
Coral,
have
yeah.
kids. Stupid.
I know. Mother Coral. I don't.
I don't get it. I don't understand there is plenty to criticize about the show, but that kind of shit ain't what you should be
Right.
focusing on. It's not constructive.
An agenda wasn't pushed here.
I don't feel
in
like
my
it,
eyes.
I don't get it at all.
A woke agenda wasn't pushed.
I don't get it at all.
Yeah.
I really, really don't. And you and me, we shit on woke things all the time
For sure.
because it's stupid. And you just like you should. Anyone pushing like conservative Christian shit down anyone's throat is fucking stupid.
I
too.
think
it's
it's-
lame. It's corny on both sides.
Yeah, I think
And-
it's woke. Or I think it's woke right now, and I'll call it out for people trying to cancel Tenacious D and what Kyle Gass said.
Yeah, I'm with you a little bit.
Yeah, it's like
I don't think you should call for the death of anybody.
No,
but
God, no. I mean, he should be
he should-
criticized for that, but also at the same
He can say
time,
what the fuck he wants.
yeah, say what you want. It's just like, it's just kind of like that culture of that. I understand Jack Black had to say he was blindsided and stuff, and I get that, but just come out and say, hey, look, I
But also, that's your friend. If you
Yeah,
said
I
some
don't
shit
know.
like, dude, I wouldn't, like, I couldn't. If you came out and said some shit like that, I'd be like, dude, why the fuck would you say
I
that?
know, yeah.
I wouldn't be like, I can't going forward do a show with someone who holds a different opinion than me. We disagree on shit all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's so stupid. Like this is the idea that you have to like
mean-
agree with everything everyone
Yeah.
says at all times, or they're the enemy.
But then-
it's fucking stupid.
But then the argument there is like, did he go over the line with what he said? And I
in
don't want
my
to repeat
opinion-
it. I don't want to repeat it.
Yeah,
Because
in my
we're
opinion,
not-
yeah. But
yeah, me too. I think I would have never personally said that or
No.
called for anybody like that. God no.
But
it's-
he's also a comedian. He's probably trying to be funny. Like in the moment, that's like the funny thing to say. He's on stage at a fucking Tenacious D. They're a
Sure.
comedy duo. He's trying
just
to be
trying
silly.
to get a cheap pop out
yeah,
of the crowd.
a cheap
Yeah.
laugh. Like
Oh yeah, I've seen worse online from people commenting.
I don't
It's
like all the shit of people
awful.
firing people. Like I don't.
Oh,
fucking,
I know.
It's so gross. Like unless you're saying, "Hey man, hand me that rifle. Let me try." You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah,
Then
that's
like,
right. If
then
it's-
you've crossed the line.
Right,
But
blatant, like
blatant. Like or here's my plan to do that. You know what I mean? Like that's drawing the line.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's just
Okay,
corny.
boomer.
It's
Shut
corny.
up,
On,
Evan.
it's corny on either side to do that shit. I think
Yeah.
it's so fucking stupid.
Sure.
So stupid. You can disagree with people. Just go. Just like put your phone down. What are you getting mad about? Put your phone down.
I know.
Put the phone down.
I know.
That's the name of the episode. Put the phone down.
Put the
not.
phone down. No,
No, it's gonna be called.
Did you ever hear
You ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? He was in a cave 100 years ago, stalking a shirtless Asian man.
Wow!
Is he Asian?
If it isn't the meanest drunk in town.
Q Amir.
Yeah, he's Asian, right? Filipino. That's my
I
guess.
believe it is that. I don't want to speak out of turn, so I'll bring him up right now.
Let's play a game. Guess that Asian is the game show sweeping the nation.
Is it?
Yeah, it is
This
now.
is fucking Google. Google.
He also
You
can-
will not know.
Maybe
this.
he's not. I don't know. I don't see race, Tom. So
Oh, okay, you're the one who asked.
I want to clarify so I can know who to hate. No.
Yeah. Jesus. What they said hurts. Or does it hurt? Nobody cares. The Stranger Star Wars actor.
Before we wrap
This
it
is
up,
live, ladies and
do you
gentlemen.
wanna-
Manny Jacinto,
Jacinto. I think that's Filipino.
if you say so. Search with Google. Let's find Wikipedia. What were you going to say? I'm sorry.
Do you want to air your grievance with Bob Iger?
Oh. Oh, so look. Bob, actually, you
Mexican?
were wrong as hell.
Yeah.
Okay. He was born in the Philippines, so
Filipino.
Yeah. But at first I saw a Canadian actor, so he must be. Yes.
He's Filipino. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought so.
So Filipino.
Dude, I'm
but
good at guessing
Filipino,
Asians,
but
bro.
Canadian. Yeah, there you go. Congratulations. Congratulations. Let me segue
And
out
that
of this
was
one.
and that was the first round of the game show. Guess the Asian.
What were you expecting? I don't have a drop for that yet.
We need a racist button.
Kyle's a piece of shit.
That's not good enough.
No, it's not good enough. Okay. Thanks for saying that, though, by the way, Evan. Really
Yeah.
appreciate you bringing that up.
Good insight.
So anyway, that is our drop to talk about the critic.
Evan's too funny today.
I know, Evan is very funny. So Bob Iger, look, I want to level with you. You can just take everything away from Disney. Just knock it down. Change Peter Pan's flight to the amazing adventure of the chick from Wish. Look, do whatever you want. Take the carousel out and make people pay $5 to ride on, gas powered, or not gas powered, electric powered, cars sponsored by, not Tesla, somebody else, like the opposite of Tesla, because everybody would be mad if Tesla sponsored it. But look, keep it on. Do what you got to do. Make Evan's life a living hell. Okay. Yeah, no, you're not. Make
Take
his life,
Figment out of Epcot.
Yeah, there you go. But when I found out that he was essentially the reason, Brad, that the critic was canceled,
I know.
we've crossed the line.
Not only that, he took it off ABC and gave it to Fox, which is the downfall. Because the show wasn't doing well on ABC. What a piece of shit, bro.
That movie,
It's one of the greatest shows
that
of all time.
series is so good.
It's one of the greatest shows of all time.
I highly
one of the best
recommend.
animated shows of all time.
It's probably on YouTube. Just go look
is.
wherever the critic is. I highly recommend you watch them.
You can watch like all of it on YouTube. It's all over
So
there.
funny.
Great show.
John Lovitz, did a great job. There was a lot of decent amount of writers from The Simpsons on there too. The Simpsons did crossovers with them. Jay Sherman did a Stars Burns. He jumped over to do an episode there. That's actually one of my favorite
Matt
Simpsons
Groening
episodes.
hated that episode and didn't put his name in the credits.
Who did?
Matt Groening hated that episode, hated the idea of the crossover, and refused to put his name in the
Really?
credits. Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that. He did not want to do a crossover. Whose idea was it? Did Fox push him to do it?
They got the show, so they were like, "How do we
That was a
promote
funny,
this?"
It was
a great
funny
episode.
show, though.
It's a great episode. Yeah. But he was just like, "I don't want to do this," and they made him do it. And he's like, "All right, well, I don't want my name in the credits. I didn't do this."
It's got one of my favorite fucking moments from The Simpsons ever in it, when Marge is writing a letter to Jay, and you hear her voice talking to him, and then you hear Homer like, "Marge, is this a pimple or a boil?" And like, "Oh, Homer, shut up!" And like, "Oh, look what you made me write." So she was like writing it to Jay, and he was reading it. And then when Jay eventually meets them, this is where the joke pays off. He's like, "Oh, Homer, you must be the man who didn't know if it was a pimple or a boil." And then Homer goes, "It was a gummy bear."
He thinks he was a gummy bear.
Yeah. Actually,
I love that show.
Yeah.
I love The Simpsons.
So
I think I'm with you now, by the way, of it being... before I would have said South Park was better, but there's a charm that The Simpsons has.
Yeah.
That is just unbeatable.
Yeah.
Especially early Simpsons. We were doing a rewatch of it again.
for sure.
We got through, like, when Disney Plus first came out. That was, like, our thing. We watched, like, 6 episodes of The Simpsons at night.
Yeah, me too. That would be the thing at night for sure.
So then we're going back and picking up where we left off. But
Whoa, Evan. What the hell was that at the end there?
that was a lot.
Did you ever hear
Jesus Christ, we have.
Fear the murder chicken.
How are we on time?
We're at 58 minutes, so
Perfect.
just about at the end.
Just
Perfect, yeah.
just about at the end.
Anything else on your mind? I saw
No, I
Ahsoka
don't
won
think
some
so.
awards.
Oh, yeah, we were going to talk about that.
Yeah, we can mention
It was all
real
technical
quick.
stuff. There was nothing about, like, actress or... It was all, like, lighting and costuming and makeup.
See, they got
and hair.
they got five Emmy
yeah.
nominations. So it was Emmy nominee, Outstanding Fantasy Sci-Fi Costumes. The mothers look great. Emmy nomination, Outstanding Period and/or Fantasy Sci-Fi Hairstyling.
Those should be two separate things.
Outstanding prosthetic makeup, hair and Ahsoka.
Go back to the one that we just before. So I think that should be two separate categories, because making up something and have it look cool is one thing, but to be historically accurate is another thing.
Oh, sure.
And that's a lot more difficult, I would imagine.
I agree.
Those should be two separate categories. Not that anyone gives a fuck about my opinion on that, but
That's true. I don't. Outstanding special visual effects. Yeah, that was good. And outstanding sound editing for a comedy or drama series, half hour and animation.
the sound editing was so good.
It was. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Look
Oh,
at
the
you
executive producing was fantastic.
bitching about this.
I did that
2
earlier,
hours ago.
right when it fucking happened.
Yeah, Brad's not
I'm
happy.
so upset, man.
Brad's burning.
That's the 5th time I've tried to get that bottle.
Well, Tune in next week on Jedi Talk when we come back, and you'll find out if Brad's bourbon reviews got said bottle to bourbon review. But we're going to do some D23 predictions, I believe, next week.
Yeah.
Before what?
I've got a good one next week.
A little nervous.
But
Evan just walked out the door.
The question I have for you is, have you ever heard the
Tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise.
Did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
I love when something like this becomes like an organic bit. Mm-hmm. Like, just it's so funny to me.
Sure did.
I love it. Anything else, man?
No, I think we're good.
Do you have any like bold predictions for T23 that you want to like hint at? Anything that you think is like that you wouldn't put on the list, but you like possibly to tease me for next week.
Tease for next week. Let's see. I've kind of been. You know what? Yes.
Okay.
And at last, I see the light.
I think yes, but not now.
Okay.
They may announce it.
Yeah,
They
I
may
think it'll
announce
be
it,
something
but
like
it'll
that.
be
Yeah.
years away because of the exclusivity deal. But that doesn't mean they couldn't do a different version. It could just be not that ride.
This is true.
You know,
This is true.
especially if they do what I think they're going to do with that area and retheme Small World, which I'm fine with. The original
Please
ones.
do. I'm good. Yeah.
The original ones at Disneyland. Now, you touch that, we got problems. But that's a cheap knockoff, in my opinion. So
I agree.
get rid of that. Put Snuggly Duckling there. Boom, bang, boom.
Boom,
You get a
bang,
little-
boom,
You
yeah.
get a little tangled. You get the Enchanted Woods, whatever the fuck you want to call
It's
it.
perfect.
Mine is, I'm not going to put this on the list because I don't know, but I have heard rumors. That they got permits approved to start construction on a fifth gate.
Yeah, I've heard that too. And there was an approval by some like commission or some council in Orlando that said, yeah, you're approved for a fifth gate and 2 water parks. I thought I saw.
Why would they do that if they weren't going to do that? Why would
I'm
you
with
seek
you.
approval if and maybe you're just looking 10 years down the line or something?
I'm with you.
Could be, but I think they're especially with the crowd levels this summer is the lowest I've ever seen in the summer.
Yeah, I've noticed
People are
that
waiting
too.
for next year, dude. They're waiting for Epic Universe. They didn't realize this was going to hit them as hard as it did.
Oh, that's interesting. I never
There's
thought.
no fucking chance they thought this was going to hit that hard. Epic Universe is going to be one of the fucking coolest things on the planet.
I agree.
And they fucked up. And it's my favorite thing is every time, I don't know if you've noticed this trend, but every time Epic Universe releases details about the land, Disney announces a new bus wrapping. Have you seen this?
Yes.
It
I've
correlates
seen
every
that,
single
yeah.
time.
Check out the new bus
Yeah,
wrapping.
that's just as cool as the Monsters Universe fucking land. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
they're
Monsters-
out of touch. They're out of
Monsters-
touch.
Yeah, the Monsters ride is, or that ride is going to use the, what's the Kuka
Yeah.
arm? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I can't wait.
This is gonna be fucking sick. I can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
I have also been hearing rumblings that the executive team is fucking panicked. They have been for a year.
Disney's?
Yes, about the reaction to all the shit they announced at Destination D23, where they had that like blue. We could do this, and I think this is a vague prediction for the event itself. They're gonna fucking come out swinging.
Well, they kind
That
of
doesn't
have
mean
to.
that doesn't mean they're gonna make all the shit they say
I
they're
know.
gonna make, but I think they're gonna come out with a bunch of shit.
Well, here's the thing. You come out and you drop it and you say this is what's going to happen. And it's like if you don't follow, like in that, the news gets, it sits there for like a week and people are like, and then it goes away. And then they don't follow up on it. And then 5 years later, it's like, remember when?
Remember the Play Pavilion?
I do. I was just talking to somebody about this yesterday.
Dude, that whole fucking that whole panel, nothing came from it.
I know. It's.
The only thing that actually saw through was Moana. And
I saw the
redo of
patent.
hub area.
Did you see the patent for that ride?
Yes,
That like
gonna get
water-
announced. The water boat
yeah.
ride where it's like screens and shit. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's gonna get announced. I think.
Evan,
I
what do you
it's
think
going-
about that screen ride? Oh, that's a
Interesting.
complete
That's not-
complete turnaround.
That's not what I thought he was gonna say.
No, I thought he was going to say.
Irish or African?
There you go. Take us
That
home,
makes
Brad.
sense. All right, everyone. Thank you guys for listening to Jedi Talk. We'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, stay safe. May the Force be with you.
Thanks, Evan. Rise, Jedi Knight.
Did you ever hear